Merry Christmas, criminals! Welcome back to Batman Arkham Origins. So, in between the last video and this video, I did a lot of challenge maps, and I got about a grand total of 300,000 experience, so I got 3 upgrade points to spend. I've gotten everything in the close combat tree that I want to get, so I'll start working on the silent tree. So, this video is going to be a bit of wandering around. As you'll recall last time, we finally finished up in the GCPD, and, well, we found out that black masked thugs were planting some bombs, and that's probably not a good thing. At the same time, by finally hooking up to the National Criminal Database, we found out that, well, maybe Black Mask isn't as dead as he looks. Seems like someone or something known as the Joker has been involved in, well, really wrecking up the joint. Our next objective is to get to the Gotham Merchants Bank, but I'll tell you now that's not going to happen for a little bit. This video and the next video are going to be taking care of one of the side missions we actually got from the GCPD. Captain Gordon's daughter, Barbara Gordon, has asked us to help her out with something. Seems like some of the Penguin's weapon caches have somehow gone missing from the evidence lockup, and she'd like us to take care of them.
I'm afraid you'll find I've stepped things up considerably, which means I think our time together is drawing to a close. It's been fun, Batman, but all good things must come to an end.
I'm also going to go ahead and take care of a few more of these Enigma towers, you know, just because I happen to be in the area. I mean, no reason not to. A few of these towers I actually can't do anything with just yet because I require some additional upgrades, but most of these can be done from the get-go.
I think you've made the right decision. Recognizing when you've been beaten is the first step on the road to self-improvement. I'm upping the stakes, Batman, just like I promised. Tread carefully.
So, seems like we, oh no, we're totally trapped in here. What are we gonna do?
Oh boy, you sure showed that crate who's in charge.
I think I mentioned it before, but Enigma's just so delightfully petty in this game about everything that you do. Whether it's taking care of a, electrical panel by throwing a battering at it or what, he's so angry about all the ways that you supposedly get around his deviously cunning traps.
Another day, another door. There's just no match for you. But how did I was sure you'd fail. No one is this lucky.
You need to stop this.
Stop what? Cleaning up the streets? Ensuring the GCPD actually does its job? Removing corruption from the system? Was it one of those in particular you took issue with, or all of them?
You're using the data you've stolen to blackmail people.
So, it gets the job done. It's certainly kinder than the beatings you're so fond of doling out. Think on that.
So with this out of the way, there's actually a couple things I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be taking out some of the Penguin's crates, I'm going to be getting some of Enigma's data handlers, and I'm also going to be working on some of the data packs, as I happen to come across them. I don't think, I don't finish any of them except for maybe one of the relay networks in this video, so, well, honestly, if you want to skip something, this would be the perfect time to do it. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep talking. All we have to do with the weapon crates is use a disruptor on these little keypads on the front of them, and it shorts them out. I'm not too sure how that destroys the weapons, but apparently it does.
Nice. 1 down, 5 to go. I can't believe there are people on the force who think it's okay to have stuff like this out on the streets. Pinching from evidence is bad enough, but selling weapons? We're supposed to be the good guys.
So I thought there was an anarchy symbol around the side of this building, but I was mistaken. Instead, there is a data pack, so you know that's worth picking up.
Attention all units, we need everyone on assignment. No 10-10s until further notice.
As I mentioned before, one of the last challenges I did was the do a glide 5 meters above the ground for 25 meters. And that is actually one of the last ones that you'll run into as far as the Gotham... I believe it's Gotham Protector? Yeah, as far as that tree goes. So the last tree I have to do is stop a crime in progress in every district. So every time I see one of these crimes in progress, I am going to be doing my best to stop them in hopes of, well, hopefully finishing that tree.
Just play into it! Kidding me?
One of the upgrades I grabbed while I was doing my, well, 3-4 upgrade points is now, instead of getting our first special combo at ×8, now we get it at ×5, which is something pretty darn good. It'll definitely speed up your violence if that's what you're looking for. It can be something of a double-edged sword, though. If you use it too much inside of the challenge rooms, well, you're gonna find that you run out of guys too fast for your combo meter to really rack up and start getting you points whenever you actually do the takedowns. This is something that I've learned the hard way recently. Some of these challenge rooms are a little, they can get a little tough. So while I was wrong about this other building, there is a anarchy tag on the back of the GCPD. Because it's, well, it's probably understandable that Anarchy would have strong opinions on the GCPD. Even if he is currently... Well, I don't believe he's behind bars yet, but he's definitely waiting for pickup. In the meantime, South Gotham and Burnley is now currently cleared out of anything that I really want to grab for now. So let's move on to some of these other areas. Oh yeah, and this is a bug sometimes. That's not your sound screwing up. That's the game.
This is alive. Then he's dead. Now maybe he's alive again? I can't keep track. Good thing we didn't join up with that crew. Those guys must be going nuts. If his operation's all messed up, I bet no one's watching his stuff. You aren't seriously suggesting we try and pull a job on Sionis? Why not? Who's gonna find out if there's no one there to see us?
So one of the things I run into here and there is every time I sort of finish fast travel or anything like that, or even whenever I start up the game, it gets pretty chunky. And again, I don't think that's because of my computer for a change. I think that's actually... this game's just not very well programmed. Because I remember I would actually have that problem on the PS3 version as well. Maybe the memory optimization isn't what it needs to be. I don't know. Luckily, it usually doesn't take too long to fix itself, but while it's happening, it can be pretty frustrating. The biggest thing I'd have to say that doesn't make it as much of a problem as it could be otherwise is you no longer have to worry about stuff like Mr. Zaz sending you from one side of the city to the other. You know, if you remember from the Arkham City LP, I'd be going from one side of the city, and then it would just... it'd go terribly. I mean, I'd be trying to go in one direction, and it would take me 5 minutes with all the skipping. So, at least this game only sends you from one side of the city to the other 3 times. And all of them are for the anarchy bombs. It could be worse.
What do you want?
The blackmail data you collected for Enigma, where is it?
Okay, okay. Just don't hurt me.
Don't hurt me, the guy says before he gets his windpipe crushed. Something else you may have noticed is that Batman is very slowly taking damage on his suit. It's nothing that impacts gameplay, but it still looks pretty interesting. This is it's a holdover from all the other Arkham games. In Arkham Asylum, he took some damage here and there. In Arkham City, he just got downright battered. But in this one, honestly, aside from, you know, a good couple bullet holes in his cape, not too much has happened to him so far. While we were dealing with Commissioner Gordon, when Brandon was shooting, we did take a bullet in the shoulder, and that's actually, you can see it right there. But overall, with all the guys who've been fighting who have knives and everything else, Batman's suit is mostly just getting scuffed up. And you'll notice, for instance, when we were fighting off Deathstroke with all the hits to the arm plates and some of the leg plates, you know, it's just showing a lot of scratches. It's a much better approach than, I think, some gradual damage, rather than, oh, there was an explosion. Now Batman is, I don't know, his cape's torn in half and things like that. It's still a nice touch to see it happen in the game. It just sort of gives you, well, maybe not a sense of progress, but a sense that things are happening and they're actually being impacted appropriately.
I can take any. This ought to do it. Forget it.
Sweet. That's 2 crates. You know, I thought about getting my dad involved, but he'd probably just say it's a matter for IAD. He's got way too much faith in the system. I wish I could get him to see just how broken it is.
Every time you take care of one of the crates, Barbara Gordon will chip in with some little insights she has into Captain Gordon's life. But one of the reasons I'm kind of taking a little break in between each one of these penguin crates is, well, each time you use a disruptor, it causes a heat sink to take a charge off it, and it takes a while for those to recharge. Kind of like using the disruptor in the last game. The problem is that some of these are so close together that, well, it takes a while to get your charge back. So if I do a couple crimes in progress or hunt down some Enigma informants in between time, it gives me time to get the disruptor charges back when I would actually need to use them. Otherwise, you're just going to be sitting there with a bunch of guys laying on the ground around you, waiting for a charge to come back. Which is no fun.
Attention all units, we need everyone on assignment. No 10-10.
I've been flipping through the precinct's file on you, and wow, let's just say you don't have a lot of fans here. But you probably knew that already. Anyway, I've trashed some of the more ridiculous stuff. I mean, they're saying you kill people. And I know that's not your style.
So what you wouldn't have heard here, because Barbara was telling us about how much the police don't like us, is all these thugs on this rooftop are actually terrorizing that hobo there in the corner. Why? I don't know. Maybe thugs just don't like the homeless. Actually, I guess if you combine that with all the cops who don't like the homeless are kind of screwed in Gotham City. I mean, maybe Anarchy is the only one they have trying to work for them.
Showed him.
As far as upgrades, I don't really want to use that last one. It's not great. So instead, I'm going to go ahead and start working towards some other stuff. The one I want to get is actually the heat system concealment, which will block you from infrared goggles. But I have to go through some to get there. I normally don't make that much use out of the shockwave attack. It's not great. But I mean, when the game gives you these opportunities to do it, why wouldn't you? I mean, unless you're one of those people who hates fun. In which case, well, this might be the game for you. Truth is, if I wanted these encounters to go faster, I might make more use out of the multi-ground takedown. But truth is, it's just not part of a regular... It's not a regular part of my repertoire, just because, well, I'm used to punching everybody out, you know, with how much I do the challenge maps. Doing those ground takedowns is a quick way to kind of torpedo your combo count.
Enigma gave you something to hide. Where is it?
I can't. You...
No!
I picked him up this afternoon from the courier and hid them around the neighborhood just like the boss asked. I was just following orders.
Oddly enough, hearing that line on "I was just following orders" reminds me of that game, The Punisher, who, there's another LP of it going on right now, but I played that back in the day, and man, if this was a game like The Punisher, as soon as you hear somebody say, "I was just following orders," that would give you something like a flashback. It's a great game, you should check out the LP. Also, for some reason, you can't climb over this chain. Only the one in the middle. Maybe it's magic. Maybe it's poorly programmed. Of course, that does seem to be the consensus so far for the game. The framework is still solid. You know, really, this is Arkham City, more or less. The problem is that whereas Arkham City was smaller scale and, well programmed, this one seems like, they were just trying to get it done. And it doesn't really pan out that well overall. I think the subtitle for it that I've seen that seems the best is, Same Bat Gameplay, Different Bat Developer. And I really like it. You know, and once again, I don't want to be too hard on this game. It's competent. This game is really, I mean, really good enough. But it's kind of like the, I like to compare it somewhat to Uncharted 3. You know, Uncharted 3 was a good game, but Uncharted 2 was a very good game. So, coming to Uncharted 2 after you coming from Uncharted 3, or other way around, coming to Uncharted 3 after playing Uncharted 2, I mean, really it can't help but feel like a letdown.
You don't scare me. I know you won't kill me. No, I'll make you wish you were dead. So where is the extortion data? All right. Damn.
Truth is, I should probably work on going ahead to get some of these extortion data packs done, because later on in the game, well, there's going to be people with guns everywhere. But some of them, I don't know. I believe a lot of the packs you can't even really get done until you have a lot of late game upgrades, so yeah, maybe I'm just wasting my time. Nah, it's not a waste of time. We'll get all the stuff done eventually. But that's all the stuff I want to do in South Gotham for now, so let's head back to North Gotham. You know, after a quick cut drop-off for the Batcave. Which will be at the end of the video. With the power of editing, I'm actually dropping into Northside.
Blizzard this year? Could be. Hope the city's back to normal before then. I still remember the last one. The city lost power for weeks. Everyone got a chance to taste the way we've been living for years. That concert, remember?
So the reason I'm not dropping into the Bowery is, well, kind of two reasons. One of them is the Bowery is actually where we want to go next. The Merchant's Bank is over there, and that is the next mission objective. If you go too close to it, Well, it won't force you inside, but... I mean, I feel like if I'm gonna head over that way, I might as well get in there, right? I mean, there's only so much wandering around you can do before the clarion call of the story comes for you.
Maybe we should get you to a hospital. Nah, I've had worse. I'm sure I'll be fine by morning. That foot doesn't look like it's ever gonna be fine again.
Man, some of these hobos, when they're talking, just sound utterly sad. I mean, this guy's talking about he's sick, he should probably go to the hospital, and the other guy says, yeah, no, I think I'll just wait till morning. I'll be fine in the morning. The other guy says, no, nothing will ever be fine again. Man, it feels depressing as hell. I mean, geez, these guys have nothing to live for. Which I'm sure if I had somebody like Jenner back on my back to commentate, she would talk about how Bruce Wayne never approaches anything as far as you know, an actual solving the methods of crime rather than just addressing the symptoms. But well, truth is, if there was no crime, we really wouldn't want him to be Batman. He wouldn't be much of an anti-hero.
That's a crazy...
When it comes down to it, really all we want is somebody to beat up the bad guys. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Let me go! Get off of me! Enigma's data. Where'd you hide it? Okay, you win. I'll show you.
You'll notice there's actually a poster here for the thrilling Zatanna, who is another DC property. At one point she was retconned to have some history with Batman, and she was a romantic interest, but I think I've mentioned all this before. In case you didn't see the poster earlier, that's where it is. There's also another poster for the Pirates of Penzance, which is it's one of the posters for the play on the Final Offer, back when it was known as the H.B. Meredith. I remember it was based on Burgess Meredith, but I don't remember the name of the boat. I remember it had Meredith in it. That counts, right?
That's the Bat? He's real? They're in trouble. Come on!
Yep, just gonna ignore those guys. Okay, come on. Come on. Work with me. Come on.
Area's been secured and prepped. Requesting a detective on site ASAP.
Copy 3-7. Delta 4-1 has been assigned.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe the game was just loading in that case file data. So, you remember a little while ago we had an issue where, well, a businessman was pushed off of a roof, and we had to go and track down his killer. This is not one of those case files, and I'll actually be doing that at the start of the next video. You know, because this one feels like it's going to drag on for long enough just watching me do nothing. This is actually one of the tougher arms caches because, well, there are 3 guys with arms. Well, there are 3 guys and they are armed. But there's no real good way to take care of them. You know, unlike a regular Predator room, you can't do anything as far as taking these guys out, and it's treating it like a regular Predator room. They do shoot you on sight. They don't have any of that awkward waiting time when you run into one of them in a combat room. This Enigma trophy is actually pretty simple. You just have to hop on the pad, and then while you're on it, you gotta hit these 3
Thanks so much for doing this.
dots.
Tonight's crazy enough already. If these guns got out there, I don't even want to think about it.
So with that out of the way, let's I'll take out this last Enigma data handler, and that will be it for this video. luckily, if you do manage to do your glide boost takedown on one of those guys, he won't be getting back up. It seems kind of inconsistent as to what will actually knock out an Enigma data handler and what won't. If you do a beatdown takedown, that'll do it. If you do a special combo takedown, it won't. If you do a ground pound, that will. It's inconsistent. Which, well, I mean, kind of describes this game in a nutshell, doesn't it?
I don't have a lot of time. Tell me where to find the blackmail data you collected for Enigma.
I'll tell you. Hell, I'll even show you. Just don't kill me.
Smart.
So, that'll be it for this video. Please join me next time.
Miss Gordon has the makings of a kindred spirit. She could prove to be a valuable ally in time.
She's just a kid, Alfred.
About the same age you were when you began your studies.
It's not the same.
Oh, no, of course not. There can be only one hero of Gotham. Perish the thought another might share your vision.
That's not what I meant.
I rather think it was.